world is dying, and your myths will die with it! In the new world, we won't need God! Odin!
Never give up!
That's right! Even if we die!
Someone will take up the torch.
The fight is over! We hope in the face of despair. That makes us strong! You're here.
Whoa, what is that?
Those lights. Are they the souls? Everyone?
All of humanity going to be reborn.
Hey! Did I miss the reunion?
Old man, you're late again!
We were looking for something, but we found it.
Yeah, we found hope.
Hey! You gonna join us?
Yep. Gibbo!
Sarah!
Lightning. I'm here. I can fight too.
Good. I need your help.
Kupo!
Know this, Benevelza. It wasn't just me that destroyed you. You've been defeated by a power that you never understood. A power that you cannot see. It comes from the bonds of love that unite us. Together. We change the world. We don't need God anymore.
The living don't need a god, but the dead do. A god to protect them. A god of salvation.
We shall become that god. We will rule over the unseen realm. And from there, we will look over the cycle of death and rebirth. We will live. We will live in the shadows of death.
I won't let you!
You want to die with her?
No! I want her to live! She can't die! Not after all this!
If it is your wish, You will die in her place.
Go ahead. Do your worst.
Then swear on your life. Keep her safe.
She is the last of us. Only she can be free. Caius has released her from the fate of the Cirrus.
Is it over? Is God really dead?
He's fallen into the unseen realm. Does that mean he's destroyed? Or merely sleeping? I don't know. Maybe one day he'll return. But even if he does, it doesn't matter. We'll win again.
It's happening.
We can go.
I'm going with them, Kupo. Kupo.
We'll meet again.
Kupo!
It's time. The time of crystals and gods is over, vanished into a past that no longer is. Humankind will be born afresh. Ours is a new future, bright with promise. Sometimes shadows will darken our path. We shall tremble in fear before the night, but we won't be alone. We will reach out our hands. And in the warmth of another hand holding our own, we will know hope. We will survive and prosper. Crystal Age is just a legend, from before the world was born. And it ended before you were born.
Alright everyone, so that right there is Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. It's funny because during those cutscenes I was actually texting, because I'm in an important conversation with my, because I'm actually the vice president for my club on campus at Long Beach State. So it's crazy, like all the freaking organizational side to it, you know, like oh my god. And as of now I haven't even sent it, and I was like, oh no, credits please don't come, because I have to talk now and I can't multitask. But yeah, hopefully I can just send this freaking text out real soon, because as we know, it's the freaking credits. It's the freaking credits. So let's see here. Okay, she's close with the beauty industry, specifically up to. Sorry, I'm like reading out loud these freaking text messages. I shouldn't be doing this, man. Okay, so she has. Oh, I'm doing it again. Damn it. She has. No, not intervened. Interned. You know, internship. She has interned in the past with them. Okay. Alright. Damn it, freaking distractions. Anyway, let's talk about Lightning Returns. So, Lightning Returns. Well, the game in general, it's a decent game, I'll just say. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of it, and you could kind of maybe tell because of the tone that I had, you know, the entire time about this, but it's just, I mean, first of all, it's very different, you know, than the entire, like, Final Fantasy series, you know, and hell, it's even different in Final Fantasy XIII and XIII-2, because XIII and XIII-2 are actually very similar in the gameplay, the battle, you know, but Lightning Returns is much, much different. Much different. But there's also some weird things, like, I mean, because here's the thing, generally I like non-linear games as opposed to linear games, you know, but there's always limitations to this, because some games are just far too non-linear, like this one. It is so goddamn confusing. Like, I don't know how people can do this, or like get all the freaking side quests without a stupid walkthrough. It's almost impossible. Like, man, even I didn't do it all, you know? And also, there's a place called the Ultimate Lair or something, which you can actually do at day 13 or whatever, and it's really strange. You know, it really is, but, I don't know. I don't know. It's just that, it's like, how should I even say this shit? I mean, I don't even know what I'm talking about, honestly. It's just that, like, the entire 13 series in general was not, in my opinion, and in many people's opinions as well, the entire 13 series was not a very well-made series slash entry into the Final Fantasy series. 13 in itself was a pretty solid game. Not amazing in my opinion, but it was solid. 13-2 had its ups and downs. More downs when it comes to this whole story because it was confusing as shit. And then Lightning Returns, the story, I'm not immersed in the story of Lightning Returns. I really am not. And it's just because to me it seems to me, because like, here's the thing, when people make a sequel, or like a whole game series, like a sequel 1, sequel 2, a very good trilogy slash series, you know, of sequels is one that really does need a sequel. There are some games, when they're made, they're purposely designed in that they're going to have a sequel, which is cool. But then there's other games that it's like, what the heck? Like, I don't know, it's just, like, even 13 in itself could have just ended like that. Yeah, Lightning and Vanille would have been, like, stuck, but sometimes some games have a slight sad ending when the bigger ending is happy, you know? It would have been a nice ending. But then in 13.2 they were like, oh yeah, by the way, Lightning was actually never there. Like, what? What? She was clearly there in 13, but then in 13.2 to make a sequel they were like, oh no, she was actually not there at the end with Sarah and whatever. Even though we thought she was, which contradicts itself. And they did that because they wanted an entirely new story for 13.2. They wanted to make a sequel, which at the time they didn't plan on doing it. And then 13.2, the thing with 13.2 is that it could have ended in a big tragic way, or they could have made Lightning Returns. I mean, honestly, by that time they were like, we're going to make another game, which is why it was put to be continued. So from 13.2 to Lightning Returns, they had already planned it, but at the same time, people were like, the story's already somewhat ruined, so just make the damn trilogy, and there we go. Like, Final Fantasy X, for example, is a game that ended very open. And people were like, is there going to be a sequel? Is there not? We don't know, but then it was announced, of course. I mean, granted, 10.2 is not a great game. The gameplay's pretty good, it's the whole job system coming back, but the story's not that appealing. But at least they made a sequel to a game that could have really had a sequel, especially because people wanted to see the whole Titus Una shit, you know, at the end. And they did, you know? They did see it, finally. But what I'm trying to say is that it's just that, like, the 13 series, to me, it doesn't seem like it was very well thought out. With that being said, I'm not completely bashing the series because it in itself was a nice addition to the Final Fantasy series. 13 specifically, you know, 13.1. It's pretty good, but after that I was like, oh man, I'll just play them because they were requested, and I guess they're nice to look at. The graphics are good, I mean, that's one thing. It's a PS3 game, HD, you know, and the character models are fantastic. The music is also really well made, the soundtrack. To be fair though, in later games in the series like 13.2 and Lightning Returns, it was more so recycled. Some soundtracks were original, some were recycled from the previous ones, such as 13.2 borrows some of the 13 music, and Lightning Returns borrows some of the 13 and 13.2 music, but they each have their own original soundtracks as well. But the 13 soundtrack, and specifically, that one's the really good one. Like, the really good one. So yeah, you know, I don't know what else to say, really. I mean, that's the game. I mean, I don't know how long these credits will be. I don't know. I'm just waiting for this damn thing to finish, you know? Community and service. Yeah, whatever. So, in case you ask, yes, the next game in the series will actually be another Final Fantasy game, or like the next game in my channel, I should say. Because at the moment I've been doing Harvest Moon and Final Fantasy. I might be doing Horizon Zero Dawn when it comes out, I don't know. And I might be mixing a Pokemon Moon LP in there somewhere, but aside from that, it's just going to be Harvest Moon / Story of Seasons and Final Fantasy. So I'm currently doing Skytree Village, or I don't know by the time this video goes up what game. If Trio of Towns might already be up, but yeah, so I'm going to be doing one of those, either Skytree Village or Trio of Towns, but the other game that I'll be doing is going to be a Final Fantasy game. Which one will it be, you may ask? Good question. The game I'll be doing next, and if you saw my banner on my YouTube channel, you'll know, it's Final Fantasy XV. People have been waiting on that since the game came out in November. It's one of the newer Final Fantasy games that I chose not to LP right away, because I did do it with World of Final Fantasy, and I'm going to be doing it with 12 the Zodiac Age when it comes out in July. I'll be playing it right away. But for 15, I decided not to do it right away for a couple of reasons, and I'll be mentioning that as we go through the LP. But I'm excited, you know? Finally doing it a couple months after it came out, about 3 months or so after, but whatever, that's not too late, you know? I'm pretty sure people will still enjoy it, despite some of you have already beating it. Because with World of Final Fantasy, people were truly using it as a walkthrough, because I even played it before it came out, officially. So people were using my series as a walkthrough for them to beat it. Whereas with 15, it's going to be a little bit different, I would assume, but we'll see. We will see. But, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be talking a lot more throughout these credits, but we'll see. I might stay a little bit quiet for a while until maybe the end or something. I don't know. I'm going to enjoy the beautiful music, you know? it's the end. It is the end. Again, it was a great series. Like, when I say series, I mean all 3 games in general. Because I did all 3 of the 13 games since I started, in November, I think? I think so. Took about, 3.5 months or so to finish all 3, which it was actually kind of fast because they're all pretty long games. Lightning Returns, not so much, especially if you don't do everything, but whatever, you know? So, one cool thing about this game, when you beat it, you essentially unlock a New Game Plus feature. Let me go ahead and show that. There's a cutscene first, I'll shut up.
This journey is over now. I wonder when the next will begin. I only know that soon we'll be together.
Okay, this right here is a New Game Plus feature. All you want to do is select a file, go ahead and override it, and you will essentially get a New Game Plus, which means you get to keep all your stats and stuff for a new game. I'm just going to cancel that. But there we go. Back to the menu. So that's the game, people. That is the game. Alright, well then. That's essentially it. That's seriously it. Oh my god. So I'm just going to end it here. I know I'm like rambling off now here, but yeah, Final Fantasy XV will be next. It will actually be pretty much the day right after this. Like right away, almost instantaneously. So yeah, it should be pretty cool, right? So hopefully you all enjoyed this game, as well as the entire trilogy of Final Fantasy XIII. But I'm glad that I finally finished this game. And I'll be moving on to the next Final Fantasy game, 15. So if you enjoyed this episode or this series in any way, please be sure to leave a like. I would appreciate that very much. Thank you, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye, everyone.